My name's Dave Pencava. I'm a patrol sergeant with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. I'm also the SWAT team leader, and I'm in charge of the firearms program. I've been with the Sheriff's Office since 2003, did a couple years in the jail back in the 90s, and I've been on the SWAT team since 2006. I've held every position on the team, and I'm currently the team leader.
Steve Westerberg, I'm the Southwest Oregon Regional Training Coordinator with the Department of Public Safety Standards and Training. I've been a certified law enforcement officer now for 32 years. I've got a background with the City of Eugene, the Idaho State Police, and with the EPSST, and been fortunate enough to have several assignments and all of those things that lend well to a facility like this.
Hey, I'm Major Brian Barton from Beale Air Force Base, United Security Forces Squadron Commander. I've been in the United States Air Force for a long time now, and happy to be here at this installation to take part in this training.
It's pretty hard to describe to someone who hasn't seen it before, okay, because it's a series of Connex boxes. And that's really all it is. But the cool part about it is it has breaching doors at pretty much every access point. Right? Breaching doors provide a training opportunity that you don't often get in the real world, in the law enforcement world, at least the civilian aspect of it. It has windows that can be ported, glass broken, things of that nature, all at a relatively reasonable expense to the user. The smoke aspect is fantastic. The variable design layout, you know, it's got nice wide hallways, which is good. You know, truthfully, it could use some narrow hallways because that's more realistic in the civilian world. And there are a couple, but just something else to consider with it. The lighting can be turned on and off. The strobes create a distraction, something that is not normally found, which is always good because even though a fellow thinks that maybe his stress inoculation is pretty good, when you change things up a little bit, maybe it's something he hasn't experienced. And that is a really valuable tool. The design of everything, the camera system that's in there is fantastic. They have a camera system, still a work in progress there, but it gave us a pretty good view with just the 8 cameras that you got in there. Definitely be better to have some more because there are blind spots, but it's pretty awesome.
Imagine an industrial-sized and strength maze that had movable walls, movable doors. You could variable lighting conditions, so you could put the cheese in any place you wanted to put it to work at different ways and methods to get there. It's very robust and sturdy. It's designed to take a lot of heavy work and impact and abuse from folks that are probably experiencing some things for the first time in some cases, and for the 100th or 1000th time in other cases, but they're still going to have the opportunity to experience those real life adrenaline rushes with the unknowns and the variables that it creates. You can go in through that many times and never have the same experience because of the flexibility and adaptability of the site.
That's a tough one. I mean, I would describe this facility as a reconfigurable, reconditioned facility that you could utilize to train the spectrum of security forces, first responder, and any other type of training to get to the skill sets that you need to hone, regardless of where your mission set lies. This facility certainly compares favorable in reference to all the other facilities that I've seen. And why is that? Really because the previous thing I talked about is you can change the conditions within the facility, right? That's important because it allows us to train the things that we see both in the garrison mission and what the military is seeing in the deployed mission set. And so it allows us to work those tactics, techniques, and procedures and skill sets in those conditions. And then of course the other thing is reconfiguring the facility, right? So now we don't get to have to see the same facility over and over and over again, but you can utilize the entire skill set of that facility to be training different iterations, and then finally, because there's interlaced cameras and lighting systems in there, we can take that information, learn from it, use it, review it, and then get better every single time.
Well, the best features is a fantastic training tool that's here in Southern Oregon. Okay, it's Jackson County is an hour and a half over the hill. It is bar none the best facility I've seen this side of Camp Rylea. And Camp Rylea is a 7-hour drive for us. Okay, this is an hour and a half, so we benefit greatly from that. The other pluses for it, it's on a secure facility. We don't have security concerns. Everybody that I've met so far has been chomping at the bit to get law enforcement over here, civilian law enforcement, to do some more training. And events like this here that we had today, right? We had 4 teams that kind of from the same area or the same branch of the service. That'd be great to get a few more from outside, and hopefully with a little better timing, Jackson County will come participate. But that's, that's about it. I mean, it's fantastic.
I like the adaptability, both interior, being able to change the configuration of doors, make them easier to open and close. I like the breaching requirements that it has nearly everywhere, both from the outside with options of doors that you would have to use the hooligan bar to pry open, or doors that you would have to use the key to open inside. Both of those are there. Options that are heavily reinforced doors to just a wood core style door. I like the flexibility of being able to open and close windows, so you have potential avenues of both vision into, or in some rare cases secondary entry points. You've got the flexibility of all 4 sides being adaptable for a team to have, if they have a challenge breaching one door and the plan is in place for a secondary point of entry, they have many options for those things. So the flexibility, in my mind, coupled with the ability to manage the lighting, manage the floor plan, makes it an environment that allows you to reach multiple training outcomes. I'm responsible for the 7 southwest counties in the state of Oregon and trying to figure out what it is they need from a training standpoint. And what it means to me is that we've got literally a world-class facility that allows us to use force-on-force training, it allows us to develop instructors, it allows us to develop basic skill and technique for new folks. While Klamath Falls isn't necessarily in the central part of the state of Oregon, it is a very accessible part for the southwest part. It's not that far away to drive. It's easy. There are places to stay here in town that the city can support the infrastructure. If you've got overnight training facilities, and as that coordinator, knowing some of the needs of some of the constituent agencies that I've got, I see us working out agreements to use this for way more than just the tactical things that we saw in play today. Everything from, as I said earlier, developing new instructors in some of those tactical areas to conducting vehicle stops to all kinds of variables. We can work on simple contact and cover scenarios with new officers responding to unknown disturbances, you name it. It's kind of limitless with what we can do here.